I'm sure you've already looked for a podcast about Harry Potter.
That one.
Is it? Am I wrong?
It's on the internet everywhere.
Everywhere.
Not in the reserved section. Hey, Coca-Cola. Hey, Kayoba. Wow. No, actually, you can't start with those nicknames. Otherwise, you...
Tegola.
It's terrible, man.
Then you start everything without having... No, I wanted to know. Is my audio good for you guys? Because I have a feeling that my audio sounds quieter, you know?
Do you have that feeling?
I do.
Are you speaking farther from the microphone? Maybe I'm deaf. I have. I play online with my friends, and then I say, hey, your microphone is picking up your breathing. Then he says, is it better now?
You're just showing off. Smells like breath.
Wow, I just remembered a video that's better not to mention. Hey, little poop, little poo-poo, please, can I do the announcements? No. Hey guys, this is Sessão Reservada, your Harry Potter podcast. Relax, man, we're talking...
The boy is playful. He's playing. He's playful. He's excited. He's euphoric. Because on Friday, what are we going to do?
We're going to travel to Orlando.
We're going to catch the first plane headed for happiness.
Wow, this song is really good.
Man, it's really awesome.
We're going to Orlando this Friday, but don't worry, the podcast will be released as usual, and this is Sessão Reservada, your Harry Potter podcast. If you're listening to us on Spotify, give us a 5-star rating. It's always really important. Go ahead and like the video at the start. If you want to send a message for us to answer during the howler moment at the end of the episode, the QR code is on the screen so we can respond to you. And together, let's go on this long journey until the first season of Harry Potter on HBO, which is coming soon. On this long road of life, man, speaking of the long road of life, I'm kind of like that. I asked for some news. I remember things were really slow. We discussed the slump and lack of news since the documentary teaser was released. I complained about the slump, and the next day they announced the actress playing Ginny was leaving. Okay, we've already done an episode on that.
See what you did?
So now I'm a little afraid to ask for news.
You guys saw what he did, right, folks? Go ahead, put it in the headlines. The actress leaves the show because of a YouTuber.
No, we'd better be careful when asking for news.
Because it's true. We want good news. Good news, right?
Please don't look at the time.
Diego, I have good news
Share it.
to bring here for you.
Share it.
The Harry Potter series, when the guys said, look, we want to adapt what's in the book in a deeper way, they weren't kidding, my friend, because they even hired an actress just to play the chocolate frog card, who appears for only a few seconds on screen.
It's impressive the level of detail they're already trying to bring to this series. And this actress, look, do you know or do you remember the actress's name?
Zoe Cullion.
Who is she gonna play?
She is going to play Morgana Le Fay. All right.
Morgana Le Fay. Does she appear in Philosopher's Stone?
She is mentioned in Philosopher's Stone. It's her. She is King Arthur's half-sister and Merlin's arch-enemy. She's a character that comes from Arthurian legends, right? She's not a character created for Harry Potter, but there are some characters there, right? That come from the real world, other legends, and even actual historical figures. Merlin.
Right?
Merlin himself really didn't exist. No.
He didn't exist, but I mean, yeah, they're wizards who are they're part of other stories that we know.
But there are real people. Paracelsus, Agrippa, Flamel. They are people who really existed.
Wow, I remember that back in school I studied about Paracelsus. Cool. I remember. If I remember who Paracelsus is, that's another question.
Wizard on the chocolate frog card. 0.
I used to hate the justify your answer part because sometimes I would cheat. No, wait, I don't want to say I cheated. Justify your answer. It came up here.
Justify your answer. It's just that Juninho answered too.
Yeah, no, justify it. I mean, justify your... I don't know. I just had an insight here. I had a thought.
So it came to me in a dream.
Let's get rid of justify your answer, okay? I don't want to justify anything. I just know.
Yeah, but...
So, yeah, like, she appears... And you said she's mentioned in the books. At what moment specifically?
When on the Hogwarts Express... They're there, right? With the chocolate frog. It's something new for Harry. Right. And Ron asks, hey, pass me the frog. Maybe I'll get the card I'm missing. He was missing Agrippa, Cornelius Agrippa. And then he gets Morgana, and he says, Morgana, I have 6. But in the movie, they said Dumbledore, right?
Look how interesting that is.
His.
Look how interesting that is.
Yeah, in the movie it's different, right? In the movie they say, I have 6 of Dumbledore. But no, he says, Morgana, I have 6 from her. You can keep it. Then he tells Harry to keep it, suggesting he might start collecting.
So in theory, they don't get the Dumbledore card in the book?
It's the first one that Harry gets.
So he'll be introduced to Dumbledore there, right?
Yes, he gets Dumbledore, then Ron gets a frog, and when Ron opens his, it's Morgana, right? And then he gets Morgana. And after that, at that moment, they mention some cards. Agrippa, right? But Agrippa doesn't show up. Angus of Woodcroft comes out, Cersei comes out, Cleogena. Some really cool cards come out there.
Isn't he the one who founded Hogsmeade? That's him right here.
That's right, Angus Woodcroft.
Yes, the village of Hogsmeade was created by him.
Yes, he was persecuted by Muggles, fled, and ended up settling there. And they say that the first house he built is where the 3 broomsticks is today.
Look, man, I think it's really cool that after the Harry Potter books, it was also revealed that the trio got their own chocolate frog card, right? And they could even have it at Universal Park, right? They're missing out, aren't they? You could, I don't know, make a version of them as adults and sell it there, but make it something really special, hard to get, right? Yeah.
That would be really cool.
I think it would be really good. And man, I was already surprised because in the trailer, they showed something that, of course, you only notice if you pay close attention, which was Hagrid knitting, right? Yeah. And then you see that in the book, in the scene where they're going to the Leaky Cauldron, Hagrid is knitting.
Knitting.
So this kind of detail is crazy if you stop to think about it, right?
I think that's because, as I've said a few times before, and I'll say it again,
The story of Harry Potter. What happens? How it unfolds? We already know. We're already familiar with it. For me, what gets me the most is like seeing how they're going to retell this, obviously, but also seeing those little details that are only in the books and that we haven't seen adapted, you know? So, yeah, it's this girl. And by the way, she hasn't been officially announced, okay? It's not like, wow, HBO announced that the actress from the sticker is there. Yeah, this was discovered by pages that cover the series and so on. It first came out there on Wizarding World in Indirect.
I love that page.
by the way, it's a really cool page on Instagram anyway. They have a website too. And Twitter. Twitter.
And then he posted their exclusive, right? That the actress would be there. And then, right away, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do some research. I'll check Instagram and all that.
Then I found her Instagram and made the post. And look how cool she posted it. She reposted it, right? And mentioned my post. Yeah.
She reposted it and said, the secret was revealed in her stories. Like, that's cool, right, man? Because even though it's just a small role, like, it's quick, right? Just a sticker in the chocolate frog, the actress is really happy because, man, you're in Harry Potter, right?
Man, and that's what I think. Besides being in Harry Potter, you see actors who show up, I don't know, for like 4 seconds. Sometimes she did, I don't know, 2 days of shooting, 1 day of shooting, but they hire people to do it. And I'm sure it wasn't just her, okay? They must have hired several people to simulate besides the portraits at the school, besides the chocolate frog cards. It's a lot of things they're planning to put in detail, and you see that this whole scene on the Hogwarts Express with Harry and Ron, I even went back to watch this scene from the Philosopher's Stone, the Hogwarts Express scene, and it lasts 2 minutes, man. 2 minutes in the movie. And then you see that in the series, we're going to have a lot more time of Ron and Harry interacting with each other in the trailer. By the way, I really want to know what scene that is. You see them like throwing something at each other, and I'm really curious to know what scene that is. Why are they like laughing, having fun, throwing things at each other? Is it going to be a compilation of scenes, or are we going to have a whole scene with this kind of situation, you know?
No, man, it's gonna be really cool to see these details of how their relationship is built. Yeah. And these little details are what tie these scenes together, right? Like, man, a little sticker that might seem silly. I'm biased to say because I love the chocolate frog cards. I'm fascinated by them. I think it's amazing how they expand the Harry Potter universe with those little stories. Yeah, and if this actress was hired to play Morgana, man, I think there's a good chance we'll have other actors to play the other cards too. I'm not talking about the 100 or so cards that are in the story, especially because in the first book, there are 11 cards mentioned. There are 11 characters mentioned on the cards throughout the first book, right? Yeah, the others came later in the Harry Potter games.
Okay, actually, the games did that really well. I remember the games, I think it was for Game Boy or even PlayStation 1, where you would find the cards in hidden places. And there were even games where you could make combos with chocolate frog cards. That was when you used a special spell.
That was on the Game Boy Color.
Wasn't it Prisoner of Azkaban on Game Boy Advance? No? Right, no.
So, in both, in Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets, I didn't play the Game Boy Advance one. Okay, but I played the one on the Color. And it had that thing of combining cards to use. That was really. But on the PlayStation, it was more about collecting. Really. Uh-huh. You know? And then, if you managed to collect them all, you would go to the sticker hall, like that. Then, there were the big 3D stickers, really cool. That was in Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, and they always valued the stickers a lot, right? Yes, yes. And it's really cool if you see it's part of the character's story. Ron loves to collect. And the way they made it to spark that curiosity for you to collect several of them. Then they sell it. Mariana brought me a frog. I didn't even know it existed. Now she's gone to New York. White chocolate frog. Did you know that existed? Wow.
There's the white one, there's the dark one, and now a new one just came out. You'll even get to try it because we're going to Epic Universe.
Yeah, and Cabra is coming too.
Besides, no freaking way. You didn't do that.
That's what my girlfriend hates most in life. Wow, I hate it. It's Tirolipa. I hate it. No, I hate it too. But the fact is, man.
This video makes me angry.
No, the other day I did it so many times during the day that later, man, I got a headache. I said, son of a gun, man. But it's automatic, man. It's when I'm really happy now.
The guy's reference.
He's happy and mimics Tirolipa's gunshot.
Wow, but it's awful. I hate this video. But you hate this video, man. I'm addicted to imitating it.
Yeah, it even distracted me here, man. Shut up. Enough, Cabello. Stop the recording, please.
Hey, hold on. Let me just fix my chair here. Go ahead, real quick. You can keep that on air. Let's go. It's just that it broke.
You're going to have to pay.
It's going to be deducted from your salary.
There, it's done. My bad. Folks on Spotify who are listening to the ASMR of the chair repair. Anyway.
Now there's one that seems like it's with it's not grains, it's nuts. Something like that.
Something healthier like that.
No, that's not healthy. Okay. There's like, you know that chocolate that has cashew, walnut?
Okay, it's crazy.
How fancy. Go like this. The box even has some pink details. I don't know if it's just in the Epic Universe area or if it's everywhere.
This was during Epic Universe, right? It was...
Yeah, it was. It was, man. Really cool. Wow, really cool. You're going to freak out there, man.
Wow, I can't wait. Man, both the Magic area and the Fantastic Beasts area, especially the circus they have there. Dude, I know there's the Arcane Circus. I know there's an activity and attraction inside that circus.
Yeah, it was a really cool show.
Is it cool?
Really cool. Really cool.
We'll make an episode about that later.
I actually wanted to do a story for CC there.
Yeah, no, but like, not as a reporter, but yeah.
Like, yeah, we include it in the episode.
No, that's when you make the point. Roll it. I love Tiago because he's there directly from... Tiago Kako is directly from Hogsmeade.
Yeah, guys. Representative of the reserve section.
Beleza, do you have 2 microphones?
Yeah, but should we take them? Because we're not going to interview anyone, right? Yeah, it's just for fun.
Just for fun. Should we take them? No, I'll go. Let's go.
Let's take them then. All right.
I'm going to pack my microphone in my suitcase. It's really cool.
But aren't you going to take the one we have? Yes, the little thing to attach. The one we used at CCXP on Friday?
Do you have both of them with you? Yes, I have them. Okay, great. So just take the Holylander. Good. Look at us just chatting out of nowhere. Guys, you are our friends. You guys are included in our conversations too. Make yourselves at home.
It's going to be cool, man. It's going to be really cool. I'm happy we're going to travel together. Or is it...
We had an experience, right, in 2022, but now with Saison, with everything that's going on, I think it's going to be a completely different experience. I'm really excited. Yeah, I miss my parents.
Are you riding the roller coasters? I am. Oh, yeah.
Me, the last time we went as a group, well, there was a group, right?
Yeah.
I'm not really someone who likes that kind of situation, you know, with everyone saying, go, go, no, go. No, I'm the biggest hater.
He feels pressured. No.
My social anxiety just makes me want to crawl into one of Universal's trash cans. But then, because of the first beer, I'm going to have to tell this story. The first beer I had in college was actually in college. I was about 20 years old. I didn't drink beer. I didn't drink anything. Next, I went to a bar and recall, aren't you going to drink, Tiago? Everyone was there. There were about 8 people at the table. I got a little...
Today.
No, I'm not really in the mood, you know? Come on, drink, drink. So I had my first beer, and after that, I never stopped.
Just kidding. And now it's all...
Butterbeer. I remember that happened. Then we went to Universal with a group of about 12.
I hyped everyone up.
Which ride did we go on first? Was it Velocicoaster?
It was the Velocicoaster, I think.
No, not that one. It was the one where you did this. Look.
Rocket.
It was this one?
The first one doesn't exist anymore, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's the one where you stand almost straight.
Stand up straight like this. It used to go directly up.
Everyone was taking out their bags to board, but I said I didn't like roller coasters and would stay behind. That's when it all started.
Come on, Tiago.
So I had to go, but I have a problem with roller coasters.
Her then from the roller coaster.
Like, wow, seriously, man. No. And to make it worse, I rode the Velocicoaster afterward, which I think is one of the coolest and most intense rides ever. And then what happened? I went on the roller coaster, but my fear of roller coasters isn't about the ride itself. It's about not feeling like I'm strapped in tight enough, you know? That I'll die. No, wow, what a horrible feeling. So I tighten myself so much that I end up hurting myself. Hurting myself, really. But then my brother says, man, if it wasn't connected, there's a little screen there for the guys, and when it's probably not locked, it shows up red, right? Yeah, so they go there and tighten it because they're always going around checking. But anyway, that's my fear of roller coasters. It's not even the roller coaster itself. That's silly, right?
So, let's go back to the chocolate frog, which is safer.
No, I'm already...
Are you going to buy a chocolate frog? I will. You will. You will. You will.
So, this is a white chocolate one that she brought me. There was a character that I even saw. I'll show you later to see if you have it. But you probably do. You have the whole collection, right? Is there any that you don't have?
No, none. And you?
Me love none. No.
Not even that one. No, not that one.
I have 3 of that one.
No, my collection and the little photo are both complete.
And that Dumbledore over there, is he silver?
He's silver and gold.
The gold one is oilier.
Yeah.
Is there anything unique to the box in Japan?
Dumbledore's silver one is from Japan. Exclusive. Is that all?
Is it usually one exclusive per place?
It wasn't a rule, right? That one was just for there. The golden one was from Orlando.
Is it written in Japanese on the card?
No, it's in English. It's in English.
How do we know it came from Japan and all that?
It was only released there, right? Which sticker did you get?
I don't know. Man, I should have taken a picture. Is it a woman? Yeah, it's a woman.
This is the ride. Is she holding a mug in her hand?
I don't know, man. I'll need to see.
She's holding a feather in her hand.
I think it was almost a mug in her hand.
With a mug? Yeah. Then it's Daisy Doderite. Yeah. Founder of the Leaky Cauldron.
Look at that. In her honor, my friend, thank you. The founder of your channel? Bring it. But you, which one do you have the most of there?
No.
Me? Duplicates or full sets?
No. I pass it along. That's right. I'm holding it, right?
Because, man, these stickers, they're wonderful. I also think the redesign of the chocolate frog box is really cool. Both the every flavor beans and the new chocolate frog box for the series, I'm really excited to see this.
I want to have it in my collection.
Wow.
I want it for my collection, you know?
What do you think about these people who... Actually, not these people. What do you think about this theory that everyone's talking about that they're going to stop selling stuff from the movies? Do you believe that? No. Or do you think they're going to sell products from both things? I don't believe it.
I don't believe they're going to stop selling something that's basically a gold mine, man. No. I think there will be many products from the series. But there will still be products from the movies. A few years from now, I don't know. I'm talking about today's scenario. Okay. I don't know if a few years from now this will happen. Like, look, products based on the movies are scarcer and the ones from the series are more widespread. Now, if you stop and think about it, let's think about it. It's a scenario that has already happened. Because before the movies, there were already Harry Potter products, right? So those products that we call, but it's not on a small scale.
Right?
They're those products we call vintage, right? Nowadays, we collect them and say, it's vintage Harry Potter. Which is exactly the kind of product that comes with that illustrated design. Yes, which was really good. It's really cool, I love it, I have a few pieces in my collection, and those products didn't stop existing, right? They simply, of course, as time went by, stopped being manufactured and are harder to find. So they're rarer items.
But they were made. There's no comparison to the amount of products.
Yeah, from that time, with the movie products.
Because the movie products, man, it's like an ocean compared to a little pond, you know? Compared to these.
Because if you stop to think about it, these products were made when Warner bought the rights to the books to adapt them. And then they said, okay, while we're making it, there aren't any products yet, because the movie hasn't come out. Let's put some products on the market. And then they call people to illustrate. They design the products, and these products hit the market, you know? So, it's a much smaller amount. But now, with the movie stuff, look at how many products there are, you know? It's really hard to stop selling that, you know? At least at first.
Man, that's what I think, yeah. I don't think they ever stopped selling the movie products. And I have a theory I'd like to share with you. I don't think I've ever talked to you about this. Did you notice that when the teaser for the Harry Potter series came out, the Hogwarts uniform is standardized now, right? They don't have that thing with Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff anymore. Now it's just the H logo with the roots. Here, embroidered on the cloak, right? On the black cloak. And then I had this theory, besides the scarves, that you can see they're not so themed anymore. They have several colors and all, but there's a predominant color. And there's also the thing, for example, with the Christmas sweater, and it's more like the description in the book. But then we saw in the documentary that the Christmas sweater is brown or green.
And the new one's brick brown, that's all.
All right, do you think, this is my theory, that they standardized the robe? Actually, right? They made it a little less standardized, but they did standardize it because they don't want to compete directly with their best-selling product lines. Like, for example, the box of themed scarves for each house, or the black Hogwarts robe. Everyone buys the robe of their own Hogwarts house. So, differentiating some of the outfits from the series so as not to create market competition with products that are already best-selling products for the brand. Do you understand what I mean? For example, let's say, let's not create a robe for each house. Why? When this robe goes to the market so fans can buy it, it won't compete. It won't take away sales from the robe that already exists. So let's standardize. I think this happened because of that. Products that are already a commercial success, that wow, sell millions a year, let's not create a rival for them. That's one thing I think.
Okay. Honestly, I think, man, I can't give you a sure answer because I think I don't really think about it.
It's like a market analyst, you know? Someone who's paid to think this way and come up with these strategies. Honestly, I think they just did it based on the book itself. Okay, you know? And because the guy, the Harry Potter fan who buys things, he buys everything, you know? It doesn't matter if the cover is from the movie, if the cover is from the series, if the cover, man, I have the Gryffindor cover from the Harry Potter movies.
When Epic Universe opened, and they made that beautiful cover, by the way, from Fantastic Beasts from the 1920s, I bought that one too. When the one from the series comes out, I'm going to want to buy the one from the series too. So I think it's much more about following the book than this market competition thing. Could that have happened? For sure. I don't rule out the possibility, you know?
But I think it's much more because they're following the book itself. Because in the book, it's all black. There's no house differentiation, right? It's on the cover. Also, because Ron gets confused. Ron asks La when they're using the polyjuice potion. Ron asks, didn't we forget our common room? And the girl says, hey, I'm from Ravenclaw.
Uh-huh.
Like, it doesn't show on the cloak, you know? Okay, no, what makes it different? Like, actually, nothing makes it different. Because in the book, they put the cloak over their regular clothes.
Uh-huh.
There's no little standard uniform underneath in the book. And then, in the series, they even added the little tie, the shirt, and all that, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be controversial here. Okay? Okay. Now, I'm going to ask our dear editor Eric to put up the image from the Las Vegas convention, which showed the Gryffindor Quidditch uniform. Yes, and Slytherin's. And also the Hogwarts uniforms, right? And then I posted this image on my Twitter. And people said, but that's the Gryffindor one, right? Why? Because of the maroon sweater. Uh-huh. Which they chose to represent all the houses down there. It's a color that really resembles Gryffindor. Yes. I have opinions. I don't think it was the right decision, not commercially, but also on screen, I want to see how this color will look before I judge. Because from what I've researched, this color, which is eggplant, the one they chose, it tends to change easily depending on the sunlight, that kind of thing. I don't think the series will feature a really bright, vibrant burgundy. We see in the teaser Draco there waving his wand next to Crabbe and Goyle. We can see he's wearing that burgundy. I don't know. I'd like to understand why they chose a color that looks so much like what fans already know as the Gryffindor sweater. Yeah,
I also don't know the reason for the choice.
but I don't know if I liked it that much.
I think they wanted to use this eggplant color, which even has the little tie before the selection there, which is also purple. I think they wanted to make it the representative color of Hogwarts in general, you know? Yes, yeah, and I think depending on the lighting, it actually shows up. Because even in the documentary itself, there are moments when they appear on the clothing rack. They seem to be much more reddish even though they're supposed to be purple, you know? Yeah, but they're actually more purplish.
Yeah, that's a detail we'll end up getting used to. And about the chocolate frog cards and the chocolate frog, you said there are some wizards that appear specifically in Sorcerer's Stone, right? Yes. At some specific moments in the story.
It was in that part on the train. It's because in that part when they're on the express, that's when most of them appear, right? Of them. At least he says that Harry had Cleogena's, that he had Angus de Woodcroft's. He says he had... I don't remember exactly which ones he says he had. Look, there's a book here. Grab it over there.
Oops, let me get it. Cool, it's here.
Here in the part about the Express.
Yeah, we got this book here.
Right.
We got it. Wow, I was wondering where my Portuguese edition was because I have the English one, but Latte sent us a press kit that now had the other edition of this. So, wow, I think some of our listeners, the followers of Sessão Reservada, deserve to win.
Should we give it as a gift? Let's do it.
Let's choose. I'll bring a little gift from Orlando. The problem will be how I'm going to choose a Sessão follower. By the way, guys, while Kako finds the page, I know it's a cliche, but once again, I really want to thank you all for everything you've done for us in this project. Whether it's the reviews, wow, hold on, my friend. Whether it's the reviews on Spotify or the engagement on YouTube, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We have a lot to talk about in the coming months. Recordings for Chamber of Secrets are coming up, along with the cast announcement and marketing for Philosopher's Stone. We'll do this together, right? Let's go.
And it went well, didn't it, my friend?
No, whoever knows does it live.
Here, look, let's go. Harry widened his eyes. When Dumbledore went back to the card, he smiled. That's a really cool detail that's not in the movies. In the movie, the card just disappears. Dumbledore just disappears. In the book, the card actually moves like the portraits.
Like it can leave.
So, Dumbledore leaves, he sees Dumbledore turning his back and walking away. Wow, I just spat. He turned and walked away. And he looks. There's a moment here too where he looks at the card and Cleodna is scratching her nose. So, if you see that in the series, don't be surprised. That's how it is in the book.
It's the movie that was different, you know?
That's cool. Here, he finds Dumbledore. He disappeared. Yeah, Harry widened his eyes. When Dumbledore went back to the card, he smiled. Ron was more interested in eating the frogs than looking at the famous wizards and witches. But Harry couldn't take his eyes off him. Soon, there wasn't just Dumbledore and Morgana, but also Angus of Woodcroft, Alberic Grunion, Cersei, Paracelsus, and Merlin.
Wow.
Then these, well,
I could show Merlin, right? That would be cool, especially if they show he was from Slytherin.
that would be really cool.
That would be really cool, right? Yeah, it's about being able to go deeper into this kind of thing because people always talk about Merlin. Then there's the Order of Merlin, and they always say by Merlin's beard a lot.
By Merlin's beard.
So it's a character that would be really cool. And when Dumbledore's card shows up, I hope they read it all the way through. Yes. Why? Because in the movie, there's a deleted scene from Sorcerer's Stone. There's also the extended version, okay, which is in the scene where Seamus shows up with the...
And Neville with the rope, and his foot stuck, right?
And he's reading. They're reading Dumbledore's card. And it mentions Grindelwald. Yeah. I think this is really cool.
It mentions Grindelwald and also talks about Nicholas Flamel, which I found Nicholas Flamel. Because it's not in the book that Hermione, like later Hermione comes with the book, right?
But then he will have this. He sees the name Flamel. Harry doesn't remember. He has the feeling he's seen that name before, but he doesn't remember from where. And then he saw it on the Express when he read the card.
Okay, so he only realizes it when Neville shows up with the leg-locking curse that Draco put on him. Then Harry comforts him. He says, "Hey, don't feel bad, Neville. You're worth 12 Dracos."
Look how cool that is.
Right? And then they undo the spell and help Neville.
And Harry has a chocolate frog in his pocket, which he got from Hermione for Christmas.
He gives it to Neville, saying it's for him. Then Neville says, "Harry, you collect the cards, right? It's for you."
And then Harry says,
Is it close to Christmas?
"Yeah, at Christmas." Then Harry says, "Dumbledore again." Then he looks and says, "I found it, Flamel. That's where I remembered it from."
Monica's on vacation, not at Hogwarts, right? No.
I think at this point, I think she's already back. Okay, it's not specifically at Christmas, no.
Okay, it's because the chapter
After chapter 12, it's before the Quidditch match that
that Snape is the referee.
it's before the chapter where Snape is the referee.
You know why? Chapter 12. I was looking at it yesterday. Is the Mirror of Erised, guys? Chapter 12. And chapter 13 is Nicholas Flamel. Nicholas Flamel, right? And then we see that, so it must be in chapter 13, right, when she comes back.
Yeah,
Yeah, because then they go to the library, restricted section, and then they get more information. But man, I think you have to mention Grindelwald because every time I think about it, I don't know about you, okay? But every time I think about this series, I'm really excited, honestly, and that's a really cool feeling.
I like this thing of noticing the little details, you know? I feel like a kid, man. I feel like a kid, you know? Again, like noticing the little details. And that's why I get excited. I don't get it. I came to that conclusion. And what I'm about to say here might even sound a bit controversial, because I'm always the hot-headed one between us, right? Right. I always am. I've already accepted that I'm like this. No.
It's all right, yeah.
But I came to the conclusion that there are people who just like to complain.
No matter what is reported, no matter what is presented, it could be amazing and there will still be someone who wants to complain.
Deep down, it's not even that I don't even know if the person really didn't like it. She just wants to complain, really. Yes, because when I posted that thing about the woman, the chocolate frog actress, people were like, "Wow, how irrelevant." There were some people saying, "Oh, how irrelevant." Irrelevant why, you know? That's a detail. For me, it shows. It's actually the opposite. It shows how the series is paying attention to the smallest details.
Sometimes the person doesn't remember it appears and never mentions that name again.
Right? Then there were some folks were making fun of the actress like, "Oh wow, what an important role. 4 seconds.
Man, sometimes, for her, it's the role of a lifetime that will open doors to other things in her career.
Guys, sometimes I don't know what's going on in these people's heads, but man, I would even play the door frame if they offered it to me, you know? Just to appear in the Harry Potter series.
No, I would be anything in that series. Exactly, like just to appear in the background, a guy drinking something at the Three Broomsticks, I don't know, anything. Exactly. Put a cool costume on me.
No, and man, I think it's kind of messed up because, like, it comes from this idea that, wow, only those who are important in the story matter, the actors. Man, it's professional work. The person is there doing their job. The person dreams about that, you know?
Like, yeah, they're in a worldwide series, you know? And you know, that, for that girl, it can make a huge difference, right, man? Her career, you know?
I'm sure that Kako, in his analysis episode, he's going to talk about this girl's card that's going to show up with a lot of dedication, and then she'll be very happy. But that's what you said. I completely agree. There are people who like to complain, and I'm on the side that everything that comes out, I get immensely excited and happy, and I'm like excited. That's why I'm really happy, because I feel like this excitement of mine is really as a fan. So much so that now when there's no news for a long time, I really start to feel it.
I start feeling it like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's really boring, even though the PlayStation State of Play was yesterday, right?
I watched the whole thing.
Man, I was there waiting for Hogwarts Legacy 2, but it could still be announced at the Summer Game Festival now. I think it's on Friday.
And we'll be on the plane.
If anything, we can just record sideways.
I hope nothing comes out. Yeah, I'm too selfish, right? I hope nothing comes out.
I won't be able to post it. We talked about the Christmas episode, and it's amazing. Because yesterday I was like, for me, there was a huge gap, this big blank spot between Christmas and the events. So I was curious to remember what happened in the period from Christmas when Hermione goes home to when she comes back, right? And I wanted to remember what happened there. Then there were details that I picked up. The Great Hall is decorated with 12 Christmas trees.
Trees.
Which is 6 of each.
And the tables turn into one big table, right, in the middle, for them to have lunch and dinner.
This episode, yeah, people were saying, right, that the series could have come out in November so that the Christmas episode would land right on December 25th, right? Post-production can't handle it, so the Christmas episode won't be ready until January, even though I wanted it sooner. That's okay, it's part of the process. But it would be amazing if the Christmas episode actually released on Christmas.
It would be really cool. I think this Christmas episode has the potential to be the most magical one, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Because the snowball fight there with the students, I think, okay, that scene, they're going to put the scene with the mirror of Erised when Harry is seeing his parents there for the first time. Yeah, right? He's seeing what his parents look like there for the first time. Of course, you see, at that age, but I imagine they're going to make this scene longer and more emotional. Like, make Dominic cry a little, you know? Just imagine.
What a thing! Man, just imagine him just looking in the mirror and the tear rolling down, like that, effortlessly.
No, and John Lithgow, he comes into this scene, at least Dumbledore in the books, and he sits with Harry there. By the way, there's a wonderful illustration by J.K. of this moment, which is Dumbledore and Harry sitting there. And he says that phrase, right? It's no good living in dreams and forgetting to live. And he asks, and the series is going to show that. Harry asking, what do you see, right? Yes, I see myself holding a pair of socks and so on. I remember that the last paragraph of the book is Harry falling asleep, but he believes that Dumbledore wasn't telling the truth, love.
That's really cool. And you know what it is?
You know a scene from, for example, I'll give you an example. When Harry says that Padfoot is, and then we see Alan Rickman, and anyone who watches or reads the books knows that he makes a really quick surprised face when Harry says Padfoot's name. Yes. And that expression from Alan Rickman is wonderful for those who read the books. Yes. For those who only watch the movies, maybe they don't get it. Yes. But when Harry asks Dumbledore what he sees in the mirror, if we watch him for a brief second,
He has an expression kind of like,
man, that's amazing, dude. I would be really happy with these little details. Yeah, I don't know. It's not just about Christmas. It's going to be insane. No.
it's going to be amazing. And for me, the card thing is proof that we already had, right? Glimpses with materials that came out about Flamel's story with Dumbledore.
Without being explored, the investigation of the attempts to steal the Philosopher's Stone being explored. So, it's something we're already going to have, you know?
For me, the more detail, the better, man. The more detail you can fit in.
Because I think people still haven't understood and haven't grasped the scale of having 8 hours of content.
You know, for the first season, like 8 hours. Guys, that's a lot of time, man. You can show so much. At least in the first 2 books. I think even in the first 3. Uh-huh.
You can show a lot, because if you compare it to the movies, the first episode being an hour long, which I believe it will be, since the first episodes are usually longer. If the first episode is an hour long, it's already more than half of the first movie. Man.
There, more than half of the first movie. With 45 minutes, 42 minutes, they're arriving at Hogwarts. We might have the first episode, and Hogwarts might only show up in the third one, huh?
I honestly think Hogwarts will show up at the end of the second one.
But just in view from the little boats. Yeah.
That episode we did, Imagining.
Ended like that, right?
Imagining episodes, yeah.
It's just that, and they're going to spend a lot more time in Diagon Alley. They're going to spend a lot more time. Harry is going to go back to the Dursleys before going to Diagon Alley.
To King's Diagon Alley, that big. We've already seen how big it is. Full of things to be explored. I think they're going to go through all the shops that Harry goes through. Amazing, right? There will be the scene with Madame Malkin, where Draco and Harry have their conversation, their first meeting. So, there, you can guess about 5 minutes of screen time. 5 or 6 minutes, wow. Did you get it? No.
Diagon Alley is basically going to be half of the second episode, yes. It's like if the episode is, I don't know, 50 minutes, 52, Diagon Alley will have almost 25 minutes. There's still Harry going back, and there's the whole part of them
eating hamburgers at the diner.
Yeah, I thought that was after Diagon Alley.
Right? That it's after Diagon Alley.
No, they were filming that in July of last year, right when the series started shooting. By the way, Adriano Goldman, who's the director of photography, gave an interview to Forbes, and he said they needed to film a scene in a diner. If I'm not mistaken, the wall was painted. It either needed to be yellow or was yellow and needed a different color. And he says we needed to film in that diner and all, a scene, and then when we arrive, everything has to be already set up. Yeah. And we had a leak last year where Hagrid and Harry filmed inside a diner where they eat hamburgers. It was like not a fast food place, but a burger shop.
Like a little street fast food place.
And then, when you reread the books, you see that Hagrid takes Harry to eat a hamburger.
Yes, before he returns to the Dursleys' house.
Before the train arrives, right? Yes.
So, all of that is going to happen, man. And it's all about the details, you know? And I find it amazing when people say things like this are irrelevant, man. I feel like, I don't know, ripping my face off, you know? When I read something like that. Because, like, it's okay. Everyone has their opinions, fine. But how is something irrelevant when it fills out the story? You know, when it brings reality to the story. Yeah, you know? Like, man, because it's really like that.
Oh, doesn't Harry go to the bathroom? Doesn't Harry eat? Harry, you get it? There are very few scenes showing them eating at school.
Like, they're always there at the table, but actually eating. It shows Ron eating a lot. Yeah, you get it? Like, at the first feast of last school year, they're there eating, happy, right, excited. But those things are cool, man, because, for me, they really fill out the story. They round everything out.
What made a lot of people fall in love with Harry Potter was those little details. How everything there seems so, how well everything is described, how detailed everything is. That kind of thing makes a difference. I think people will only realize the amount of new scenes like that the movies cut when the official trailer actually comes out. Because in the teaser, we already got a good idea. There was Harry at school. There was him cutting with the scissors, things that aren't in the movie. Cutting with the scissors.
Cutting with the scissors. It's tricky.
Poor guy.
My microphone is covered in spit.
Wow. Oh, that's gross. Harry getting his hair cut, right? Petunia cutting Harry's hair. There's a detailed scene of the Hufflepuff match, but people would have to notice that it's the Hufflepuff match. It's a Quidditch game in the snow. It's happening there after Christmas, in the winter, right? So this kind of thing, maybe people didn't really notice. Or Snape showing up back there with the broom because he's going to be the referee for that match. When would people remember, that Snape was a Quidditch referee? So the teaser actually showed a herbology class. Herbology class doesn't appear in the first movie, it's only in the second.
They only offer it starting the second year, right?
But in the magic it showed. In the teaser. So there's small details, right?
History of magic, what I'm excited to see. Because, like, not just because he's a ghost teacher. And I even mentioned this on Twitter once.
I said, man, I was always upset while reading Harry Potter because they didn't like History of Magic.
And I thought the idea was fascinating. Like, I love history. It was my favorite subject in school. And then having a ghost teacher, you know? Uh-huh. I thought it was amazing. It flew away. I lost the other one. Today, huh? No. Today I'm just like Daffy Duck, man. Hey, old lady, I had to go to the mall. But then that's Bugs Bunny, dude.
What's up, old man, old lady? I know. It's just that he's from the same
Group as Daffy Duck. Friends, it's true. Good one.
Anyway, I thought it was amazing. A ghost teacher teaching the history of magic. I was like, man, these guys think it's boring, you know? Like, I know the way he teaches is actually really boring.
I thought it was really cool, and I'm excited for the series because seeing it is different from reading it in the book. It mentions that they had to pay attention in class to tell Emmerich, the bad one, apart from Ulrich, the weirdo.
That's mentioned in the book in one passage, but in the series, we need to actually see it. I want to watch how he teaches that class. What are the topics that are going to come up in class? I know it's not going to be like a story focused on the classes. The classes are going to show up. They're there because they're part of everyday life. But what I'm excited to see in terms of world building and the background of the classes, what will be taught in those classes, I'm really excited, man.
There's a scene that shows up in the teaser where the trio is kind of looking around. Harry even turns around, you know, as if he's still on his first day of class, right? Waking up, having the first day of class. I believe the first class they'll have that day will be the history of magic. And that's probably why they show the students still kind of sleepy.
Really? Yeah.
I don't know. The class is boring, but they'll only show a little of it. That's a fact. They're going to bring a little humor, you know, to turn the class into this thing. He might speak slowly, you know, in a very...
And I'm excited to see what the ghosts will look like. Because in the trailer, we can kind of see the teacher's head, right? That's it. But the body is kind of invisible, right? No. So much so that some people didn't even notice it at first. That's the teacher. Which one? And then I wanted to see, I don't know if it's just not finished in post-production or something, like, it's just kind of there, right? Because we know that later, a lot of things get refined, right? Throughout the post-production process. And so I'm really curious to see what their design is going to be like, you know, their appearance.
Yeah, people can't use that first teaser as a benchmark for what the show's going to look like. Because actually, they released the teaser way too early, in my opinion. If you stop to think about it, March was way too early for them to release the first teaser. But that was part of the first publicity cycle. However, there's a lot that's not finished yet. The post-production process will go on until November, guys. Actually, sometimes it goes until just weeks before the show premieres.
You know something I talked about the design of the ghosts, right? Like, what they're going to look like. But you know something I really want? That the lore of the ghosts is barely explored. You know, I think especially in the second year, when they have Nick's birthday party, they're going to explore it a bit there.
But because you even saw that there's a rumor going around that Sir Patrick Delaney Podmore will appear. The one from the Headless Hunt.
And he's part of it. He's there in the birthday scene.
The birthday, right? It's because Nick, he's kind of a rival to Nick there, because he doesn't accept Nick in the Headless Hunt. Okay, since Nick is not nearly headless, right? Anyway, and then there was a rumor. There was a rumor from that insider, Orcutt's in Pocket. Yeah. They said he's going to be there, that this scene is going to happen and all. And I think they're even going to show a bit of that Headless Hunt sport. Man, that's really cool, right? Over there.
By the way, speaking of ghosts, no ghosts yet. The actor who will play each of the ghosts, Peeves, has been announced.
I don't think it'll be announced, man.
Not even James and Lily?
I don't know. I think they're going to keep some things like...
Mystery. There's also the fat lady, right? Yeah, or I don't know.
Or people just find out about the sticker now without any official announcement, you know?
Yeah, let's see. Because I still feel like they still have some extra information left to release, especially about the cast.
Some people are still missing, including Ferenzi, which fuels the rumor about the red-haired guy meant to be Ronan.
Exactly.
And that background with the ghosts over there is interesting. I think we don't need to wait until the second season to have better development, you know?
Because I, for example, would really like to know why Pirasa is so afraid of the Bloody Baron. In the movies, they made the Bloody Baron seem funny since he laughs during his first appearance. No.
He only shows up once and never appears again.
right? And never again.
Helena Ravenclaw, at least in Deathly Hallows, she gets that spotlight, right? She passes by Harry. By the way, it's a really good scene. Yeah, do you know who was supposed to play her? I do, Kate Winslet.
Yeah, imagine that.
But then her manager kind of just ignored it. Yeah, that's messed up. Yeah, but it's okay. It was a small role anyway, right? But okay, I'm not going to judge today's Kate Winslet.
Maybe another day. She hadn't just finished, right? But come on, she went from playing Rose in Titanic to becoming a ghost. No, it had been a while since Rose. It had been a while. Man, and I really wanted to see a scarier Bloody Baron, you know? The kind that scares you, because Neville also has a moment when he's left outside before they go to the midnight duel. Uh-huh. There's a moment when Neville is left outside and he says, "Don't leave me here alone. The Bloody Baron has already passed by twice." Like, he's scary, you know?
And his story, his background is really dramatic too, right? He's a murderer.
Right?
He's a murderer.
He's a murderer.
Man, I think that's really... The guy still has blood on him, man. Yeah, like, because that's the blood of another woman. Exactly. Damn, that's intense. And showing this kind of situation, showing his background, it's like not just the Bloody Baron. One of the scenes I like most from all the Harry Potter books involves nearly headless Nick. That's when Harry, after Sirius dies, goes to talk to Nick. Yeah. He asks, so will he return as a ghost? Or what is dying like? What is dying like?
Really cool.
And I don't know. And I love that Harry is trying in every way to understand and also process his own grief.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, it doesn't work in the movie.
Once.
Again, it doesn't work. Do you understand? It's sad because you have a scene of Harry packing his things there in the Gryffindor common room where he's clearly upset. Okay. But there's already that ending, like we have something Voldemort doesn't have. No, a nose.
It's kind of like that.
That kind of... I don't know. I'm going to be a fair critic of the movies, okay? Because I really love the movies, but it's always good to remember that, man.
Yeah, one thing is certain. The movies are great. They were a phenomenon. They were part of Harry Potter's growth all over the world. That's undeniable. It's undeniable. But they're adaptations that had time limitations, right? And some things were left out. And things that fans wanted to see. That's not about criticizing the movie, trying to belittle the movie, just because now we're going to have a series. It has nothing to do with that. It's a fact. Things were missing. Things that fans wanted to see. That's it. Period.
It's about understanding the possibilities. It's about understanding, of course, I get it. It's about understanding that the movie had 2 hours and 50 minutes to adapt everything. But it doesn't make me very sad to think that we go from a post-serious death scene to right after a scene with the waitress. So it's an A.
The waitress scene is tough, right?
So I can't just go hitting on a waitress there, and we've got Harry all cocky.
Right? No.
In the books, we get the following feeling. Dumbledore goes, he interacts with Walter and Petunia. He makes the uncles understand that Harry has just lost someone very important and Harry has to deal with that. But he ends up with Sirius's things, the Grimmauld place, the creature. This is very important for us in terms of continuity, seeing that Harry keeps Sirius's things. Yes.
Now he has several things that later show up in the movie kind of inexplicably, like the two-way mirror.
Oh, because we jump from the waitress scene to Slughorn, them going to recruit Slughorn, and then there's Harry looking out the window at the burrow, magically in love with Ginny. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
You know? I don't know, this... Okay, we didn't really move away from the ghost topic, right? Imagine it's magic. We didn't really move away from the ghost topic, but that's basically it. Once again, I wanted to make it clear to you all my dissatisfaction with... I'm not going to talk to David Hayes, sorry. But yeah, let's go.
0 days without talking.
My dissatisfaction with the guy who, for me, didn't really understand the timing. The Order of the Phoenix, up until then, I think it's a good movie. Yeah, I remember I've already ranked the worst movies. The Order of the Phoenix is last. The most hypocritical guy in the sessions is Valton, Carried Away.
The movie is a good movie. Last place.
You see how great Harry Potter is. If the good movie is ranked last, it means the first one is really excellent.
For me,
What's coolest about the series is this, which I think is the main point of this episode. The coolest thing about the series is the possibility of exploring these little details, and we know we're going to have that. Hey, sticker. If there's going to be a Morgana sticker, why wouldn't there be one for Engstrom? Why wouldn't there be one for Cleodna? Why wouldn't there be one for Cersei? Did you get it? Why not? I don't think so.
We're talking about stickers, but even portraits, right? In Dumbledore's office, you could already have Finn and Phineas Nigelos, right?
Yes.
He goes there in Order of the Phoenix to talk and have that interaction.
By the way, remember there was a rumor, I think it even came from the same insider, Dorcrux in the Pocket, that there would be moments where Dumbledore has some interaction with portraits of headmasters. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Gil Darringt.
And another one. That would be amazing.
Another headmaster, maybe Phineas Nigelis. I can't recall. Yes, him, but I'm not sure if it was little Phineas Nigelis.
This Phineas Nigelis is the same one from Hogwarts Legacy, right? That's it. The one played by, who I'm speculating is Arthur Weasley, right? Did you see that they asked him about it? He said
that it would be amazing, right? He said no.
He says it would be amazing to work on it, but he says he doesn't see himself in a series that lasts so long. But the reporter feeds him some misinformation, right? Like he says, yeah, like imagine being in the same role for 15 years or 12 years. Even though it's already been made clear that they're going to film from 2025 to 2032, it'll be 7 years of filming. John Lithgow himself said it, right? That the idea is to film every year. Consecutively. Yes. Is there such a thing as consequently? I think so. That's it. Yeah, continuously, right? Continuously, exactly.
Consecutively, man.
Yeah, but that's it. So they won't record for that long. And another thing, Arthur Weasley, I think he'll show up in every era. Yeah.
Right, from the second one on.
He appears in all of them. I wonder if he'll fight Lucius Malfoy.
Hey, man.
It has to be there. I live for that part, right?
There has to be some real back and forth.
Dente Arthur Weasley.
Not even back and forth because Lucio doesn't fight. He only knows how to use magic.
Yeah.
He can't handle magic or even a punch, so he just relies on his little tricks.
The guy is emotionally unstable. He wants to cast an Avada Kedavra on an 11-year-old boy right in the middle of a Hogwarts hallway, which is absurd. All day long, no, he said an Avada, or am I crazy?
He says it, but did you see Jason Isaacs talk about this? No, I've never seen it. He said like he had to cast a spell. And then he asks the guy. He says to the lighting guy, hey, say a spell. Then the guy,
Avada Kedavra, wow, man.
Then he just went and said Avada, man.
Out of nowhere.
Man, so this information, it doesn't really match up. Because when it happened, I don't know, man, actors say something different every time, right? There are some actors who say one thing one moment and then.
Actors who turn moments into, it's because they go to conventions, so they make their own jokes. So to tell stories.
And then, like, because there are...
There's a detail, which is he was reading Goblet of Fire, and then he saw the spell, Avada Kedavra, and that's what he knew, what he remembered, and he used it. And there's this thing where he says it was the lighting guy, and this, actually, he said at the event when he was here in Brazil, face to face. It's not something I heard, he said it here, face to face.
But you see how comic timing is better when you say the lighting guy told you? Because, I don't know, I read the book, it's much funnier that the guy exactly...
Then he said the guy, actually his long hair, you know he wouldn't have it, right? He has long hair in the movie, right? What did he say again? So, he saw the costume of Dumbledore, with the long hair, with the big beard, and he said, why don't I have long hair?
Because I want a wig too.
And then, he put on the wig. So, like, part of his style was kind of his own. Johnny Flynn.
Who's going to play Lucio Malfoy in the series now? He won't wear the long wig, right? No, he'll have short hair. Did you see him at the studio? What did you see?
I saw the sketch. You saw the costume design, but...
Did you see the costume? But did you see his hair?
Short hair.
And he's wearing a turtleneck, remember?
Man, he's wearing a really fancy outfit, you know?
And do you think he'll have a pipe wand too? A pipe? Did you see the wand? Like a pipe. Yeah, a pipe. Like Lucius Malfoy's the pipe one.
It's a cane, not a pipe. No.
But it's fun to say.
Pipe wand. What's that? Does he work at Tigre?
For me, no, it's a cane. No. Won't there be a cane wand? No. It was really stylish. It'll be a mistake for the show not to keep Lucio's cane wand. Because it was really cool when he pulled out the skull, the tube, remember the imitation of, no. The crazy guy, no. My lord. My lord.
Very good, Lucio. Yeah, I don't think so. No, I think it's because the wands in the show, they're going to be more rustic. They're going to look like wands. Like, it's not something so. It's just that in the movies, they're fancier, right?
Some of them have a fancier vibe. Some are more rustic.
Others are, you could already notice that in the documentary, we see several, and they didn't even focus on wands in the documentary, right? I think they should make several installments of Finding Harry, actually, like they did, because there was a subtitle, right? Did you notice? Can you imagine? They release another with a new subtitle and focus, but I doubt it, man.
It would be cool. Honestly, they could air the series today.
I wish. Wow, but it's still going to take a little while.
But is there any detail you'd like to share? One of those little things? Let's not talk about the main plot, of course. When it comes to the main plot, sure, we want to see Hermione in the potions challenge, things like that. But is there any detail, one of those little things that you really want to see?
Like from the book, yeah. I want to see it. It's something I've mentioned a few times. I really wanted to see a lot more of their daily life and routine at Hogwarts. Like, kind of to give this idea that I think they're already doing this very well, making Hogwarts more realistic and all. But showing the path the students take to get to the classrooms, I would really like that. Because if you rewatch the movies, you notice that it's not there. There's not much of that, right?
Ugly.
Ugly, really ugly. Wow. And it's like, for example, Harry sleeps there. He has the view with the owl. And the next scene is already them kind of running there, or potions class, I don't know. But you see, each classroom is already in its own setting. I really miss seeing the students walking around like it happens a lot in Prisoner, right? Yeah.
From Prisoner, actually. That's when it started happening, because that's exactly what Quaron wanted. He even says he wanted to give a real Hogwarts feeling. Like, hey, you're leaving the Great Hall. Where does that lead to? So, then you go to the staircases, then, hey, you want to go to Hagrid's? How do you get to the hut? There's the bridge.
And I think now they've done that really well. And now they can think about all the other movies, right? Yeah. It's like how that set is going to be important. For example, now they're going to start filming the Chamber of Secrets. They'll have to build the burrow. They'll have to build the Chamber of Secrets. They'll have to build the place where nearly headless Nick will be. But at least the pre-production, I think, will be shorter because many of the sets are already built.
Yeah. You know, before things started coming out, I even thought that they would reuse things from the movies, you know? Man, I even thought for a moment, like, I think they're gonna reuse it just because of the cost, you know? Like, they've already got something ready. But the thing is, nothing from the movies was left fully assembled, except for Diagon Alley.
And that one from the making of Harry Potter, was that the place where Diagon Alley was too? Like the Great Hall?
Yeah, the Great Hall and Diagon Alley. There's Diagon Alley right in the middle of the making of Harry Potter.
I wonder if it's the same place as in the movie. Yeah.
It's the movie set from at least 2 films.
It's so small.
It's cramped.
Wow, the path you take there until you reach the end looks really small.
It's cramped.
Wow, but this set, if they don't open the series sets for visitors, it'll be a crime.
My friend, I think they will open them. Because honestly, the way all the sets are connected to each other, and Diagon Alley is really big, man. Really big. Very.
You can't get a sense of it by watching the documentary, or from pictures or anything that comes out. You just can't get a sense of it. It's really big.
It's an incredible experience, and were you able to spend a lot of time there in the alley, walking around when you went? Were there places you couldn't go into? Like, were there stores? Most of the stores were closed? No.
I couldn't go into the stores. There was one store we were allowed to go into. Okay.
For example, Flourish and Blots. You walked past it?
I walked past it.
What about those books? So was Flourish and Blots closed?
Yeah, you couldn't get in.
But was there a set built inside?
No. Inside, it was built. Interesting. The Quidditch shop was being finished.
It's because you went in September, right?
Yeah, the Quidditch store. I don't know if it was being finished or if some things they were going to do with special effects. Ollivanders, did you go there?
I did, but I didn't even go into the store.
There was only one store that I went into.
Okay.
I don't know if I can say.
Oops, thank you.
Yeah, anyway.
It's cold today in São Paulo.
Does the cold make you sneeze?
It depends. My cold feet do. When my feet get cold, I sneeze. I don't have it. It's true.
It's weird, man.
Does anyone else get that?
I sneeze when I'm in the sun. Then I sneeze a lot.
What makes more sense? Sneezing when your feet are cold or when you go out in the sun?
When you go out in the sun...
Come on, comment.
Sorry, back on topic. Justify your answer.
No,
But hey, justify your answer.
I think our screaming moment is coming. What do you think?
What do you think?
I think that people...
I feel like I could talk for much longer about the little details I want to see explored, but then this episode would end up being 3 hours long, which is what people actually want, by the way.
We're releasing an episode that's an hour and 15 minutes long, and people are already calling it a short.
But guys, you know what? We usually record 2 episodes in a day. And we can't stay here in the studio all day either, because other productions are recorded here too.
It's good that you say that. It's good to make that clear. Because if we take 3 hours for each episode, first, I would get to Sorocaba at 9 at night, and I have to get there as early as possible for the day too, right? To keep working there. Sometimes there's today.
Mainly, we can't extend it much longer because we also have a meeting in the pre-production part.
Latam's boarding over there, which we're actually going to travel on Friday. But don't worry, you'll have an episode this Friday and the next one. Yes. Because 1 week like this, let's go. 1 week without, let's think.
Actually, you guys will have it anyway.
A week without an episode, you guys already got really... Oh.
Do you know why there wasn't an episode?
Why didn't we have an episode? It's because I got sick. That's true. This time there was an episode, but it wasn't Eric who edited it. Eric was without power. He was like a kid who went back to the Stone Age.
They don't know what happened. We almost went 2 weeks without an episode here.
Man, we nearly went 2 weeks without an episode.
I had to say the podcast is over.
They fought.
No.
The partnership broke up. They fought. The boys fought. You separated them.
No, Eric was without power for 5 days because the boy moved out.
There was an issue with the electricity, so they cut the power. It took 5 days to restore the boy's power. So, poor guy, he was out of touch.
Wow, you sent WhatsApp messages.
It was just that little thing.
Hey, Eric?
How are you? Is the power back on?
How are you? And did the food in the fridge go bad? No. Wow.
Man, that's rough. Seriously, being without power is bad. I don't recommend it.
And that's also why the Calderon videos were on hold, because Eric wasn't editing. And I didn't want to look for another editor because, my friend, going through all this.
Episode is going to be released on Calderon, right?
On Calderon.
Yeah. Now this Friday, right? This Friday, cool. That's awesome, huh? I liked it. Screaming moment.
Screaming moment. Guys,
Let's go to our screaming moment, which is Coach always on the screen, where we answer your messages, and I'm excited for us to...
will there be one from Messi, I wonder?
What did we say about Messi?
Go ahead. You didn't trade the sticker. Ah.
Yeah, man. Guys, it's time to shout. Let's go.
And our first message is from Gustavo F. Diego and Kako.
About a different name, right?
But then you're going to cut me off in the middle of the sentence. Diego and Kako, watching you guys makes me happy. Send a hug to my sister Fernanda. Go Hufflepuff. You have to be a Hufflepuff, you see? She asked for a hug for her sister.
It's not for him, but I'll send it.
Hug.
For you and for your sister Fernanda, from the best house at Hogwarts. Here, look, my house is written here.
How did you know that Diego's shirt says Ravenclaw? Man, seriously, it's just that I can't get closer. No, we'll do an insert there later. Honestly, this shirt is really good. It's a very special edition.
No, I'm the only one in Brazil with this shirt. It's Hufflepuff, but says House of Ravenclaw. Bro.
He's a pro at danger.
It's really expensive, right? At the store?
Of danger.
It's really expensive.
Hugs to you and Fernanda, Gustavo. All right.
DC said this. With these new uniforms, I have a question. How do you know which color to buy before being selected?
That question, the uniforms actually don't have a color. They have a single color. All of them are standardized, so there's no question about which one to buy, right? There are some details like the tie and such. But that, man, was always left very open, even in the movies, right? Like, which uniform do you buy, right? Without knowing the house. So that's something the series might be able to explain, like, hey, you were sorted into this house. These are the ties. That little purple one, magically, with some spell.
Is trans, but not transformed. That happens in Hogwarts Legends when they cast a spell on the uniform. I wish they showed that.
It's a good solution, Rogeria.
I would like to see the kids protecting themselves from the rain, like in Fantastic Beasts. That little umbrella spell.
But do the kids do that?
I'm not sure. He wants to see the kids.
Okay, just like they do in Fantastic Beasts? Cool. Fair enough. And it would be cool. I like this idea of the little umbrella. Queenie does that in Crimes of Grindelwald, right? Jessica Dos Santos just sent this in. Look, I wasn't excited about the series, but the podcast made me change my mind. Yeah, I'm loving keeping up with everything. Jessica Dos Santos, thank you so much. Comments like this make us really happy.
Because this is basically a cult, you know? We want you to be a part of it.
We do our best. And the reason this podcast exists is to get you excited during the time of the series too.
That's true. Alessandra Bebé. Alexandra Bebé.
I know.
Oh, Bebé.
You keep the magic alive. Kako knows everything about Harry Potter, and Tiago conveys the same emotion we feel. I love it so much. Thank you for the affection.
I know, but Tiago conveys an emotion. The guy Kako knows everything.
Tiago, more or less. But he's cool. Tiago is cool too. Tiago is cool. Thank you, Tiago. Thank you so much.
But Hufflepuff is good. He's a good kid. She sent another message here, Alexandra. Alexandre or Alexandra baby. I want everything to be different. Coat of Arm, Snape filming to watch the play movies on the 2007 DVD box set. Wow.
Thank you.
This sentence will be in history books 5 years from now.
Thank you. I agree everything must change, since the movies already exist and won't disappear, including, out of respect for the movies, the memorable and classic scenes from the films, like Buckbeak's flight, for example. No, that's it, man. That scene from Prisoner of Azkaban is beautiful and it has to stay there, you know? It doesn't have to be copied for the series. I totally agree.
Voldemort's return, the way it is in the movie. Man, that's awesome. In the movie, you know? They don't have to try to repeat that, you know?
Dumbledore's funeral in the movies is really beautiful.
Dumbledore's funeral. It's just that, no, we didn't see it, but it happened.
We weren't invited, that's right.
And that's it. Hey, Kako and Tiago, would you like to see a mention of Buckbeak in Season 1 like Hagrid talking about the hippogriff?
No, I don't think it fits that well.
Because I don't think he even mentions that in the books either.
Yeah, and the hippogriff, Buckbeak,
Those hippogriffs, they actually come to class when Hagrid becomes a teacher, right? I don't think it makes sense.
And now, the final question on today's Howler Moment.
Luca Morandem. Hey, Kako and Tiago.
What are your expectations for Quidditch in the series? P.S. It's going to be Slytherin.
Hear how nice that sounds. Slytherin. Slytherin hardly shows up these days.
My expectations for Quidditch are really high, especially because of the way, nowadays, it can be done technologically speaking. And Mark Millard also said that he's really excited for Quidditch. Yeah. And during the set visit, one of the things he mentioned, which we were actually supposed to share, right, was the way Quidditch was going to be done. How he was really inspired by sports from the 90s, the way sports were broadcast. 90s sports.
Formula 1, right?
Formula 1 camera inside the car and all that, you know? That's really cool. So like imagine the camera on the player's face. No, wow, that's going to be really cool. And I want it to be fast, you know? Something kind of frantic, right? Like there's a loop, there's a flip.
Yeah, shots from far away. Then the stadium, a flat view like from a drone, watching them play there, you know, the game happening like filmed from a distance.
I'm really looking forward to it.
It would be amazing. Guys, that was it. Please do the honors, man.
That was our screaming moment. Thank you for your message. Thank you for the love, for joining us in this moment, not just in the screaming moment. Everyone who comments here in the regular comment section, thank you for the comments on Spotify, for the ratings, for the likes, and for everything.
That's it. Thanks. This was another elevated session. We're together.